Hello. Sorry, I'm very late. But internet connection is crazy. Work is crazy right now because of certain stuff happening. Anyways, sorry I'm late. Anyways, let's talk about the best cycle of Call of Duty because right now with the Microsoft Activision transaction is actually very important to touch on this topic for the simple reason of, well, what's the best cycle for Call of Duty after Modern Warfare 2, you know? And the answer is very simple. 1 year skip. If you're going to continue to launch individual titles, I suggest that you go on a 1 year skip. Call of Duty 1 year, no Call of Duty in the next one, and so forth. Because, well, you can actually pump content towards it. But if you're going to do that, deliver a very finished game. Don't half-ass it. Don't even attempt to try to half-ass it with what they did with Battlefield 2042, because we all know that's a piece of shit right now. I was actually tempted to buy it because of the trailer, but then I remembered it's EA. They're never gonna deliver us what we wanted and how we wanted. Ergo, that there's Battlefield 2042. They're having refunds, so that's shame on them. On the other side, I think what's best, the future of Call of Duty, because we gotta talk about the future. You know, Bobby Cody's stepping down after the deal is over. Um, Obviously, Phil Spencer's gonna clean house on Activision and all of its studios about all this scandal thing that they have of sexual harassment and all that. Um, so there's going to be several big changes that is going to happen. It's not just like Disney. They acquired and then they just started not creating a story. They're starting to pumping things just to get money, and they didn't care if it was controversial or not, or if it continued lower or not. Obviously, it hurt their pockets with the Last Jedi and the Rise of Skywalker, which are garbage. Even more so to the first one, the Force Awakens. But anyways, going back to topic. Best cycle for Call of Duty is going to be annual is 1 year yes, 1 year no. Why? Because you give time to the developers. I know Exclusive Ace had a topic about this, and I heard about it, and I've seen other YouTubers like Nero, like Espresso, voice, what's the future of Call of Duty and everything, and if they're going to go on that route. The thing is, I understand the cons that they might sleep and we're gonna get half-assed games, and a lot of content is gonna be sparse. But you gotta think about it this way: if you're actually gonna do that cycle, what you can actually do is, instead of just multiplayer content and campaign content, campaign DLCs, the transition from let's say what they were trying to do with Modern Warfare 2019 before Warzone even hit was carry over the story through Spec Ops. Release DLC missions that are the bridge between Modern Warfare 1 and Modern Warfare 2, in order for you to actually be still engaged towards the game and uses the third game mode. But because it was broken and had issues, it was incomplete. Actually, they transitioned that storyline towards Warzone instead of doing it through Spec Ops, which is actually understandable because of the fuck up that they did for that third mode. And it would actually remain engaging, do it through the third mode or do it through the battle royale. Uh, but it's actually better if you actually can do it individually, because then you have expanded cutscenes. You don't need more so life events to actually trigger something monumental. in Warzone. You can actually do, events, treat Warzone a little bit more separate of the storyline rather than within the storyline, because then it will not fit because of all the customization of skins, you know, and everything. Uh, so that's on my part. It's not so much saying that it's, but yeah, campaign DLCs like uh, I think Halo's gonna launch with it. Cyberpunk, we know it was gonna launch with it instead of just multiplayer. It was also gonna be campaign DLCs. Several games have done it in the past, and it has worked. Um, so that's on that part. But what is actually the best thing for Call of Duty right now? I mean, they already have a ton of characters. Regardless of what Vanguard writers said, we have iconic characters even before Vanguard. None of the Vanguard characters are iconic. They're just not memorable. They're just there. They're like NPCs. So on that part, it's like, eh. But going back to it, the best option for Call of Duty moving forward after Modern Warfare 2 is actually rest Call of Duty for 1 or 2 years and have all the developers convert into one engine. And the best one is the Infinity War one that they use for Modern Warfare 2019. If they can enhance it even more, uh, then what I suggest doing is like an Arma type game for Call of Duty. Why is that? Because you already have the maps, you already have the characters, you already have the weapons. Let the players create their own maps, their own stories, their own you could say multiplayer levels, like their very own ground war, like a big team deathmatch, 500 kills to win, or a big demolition site, or some type of big search and destroy, or instead of just battle royale of the circle closing, you know, um, teams battling each other until one stands surviving after the gunfights. Um, so on that regard, let them create their own level. You have all these maps. If you give them the tools for it, they can actually thank you for it. Because what is happening right now is that there's several independent video game creators that are creating from all Modern Warfare, or actually from all Call of Duty engines, or from other type of engines. They're creating their own types of Call of Duty. Recently I saw a video about a guy that with the Modern Warfare remaster engine, I think it was, or well, it was Call of Duty Modern Warfare's engine, not the 2019, but and he created an entirely very good campaign, and it was convincing, and it had that you and you see it, and it had some of the levels, some of the buildings, some of the scenarios that you saw in Call of Duty 4, and he just changed it and adapted it for the story, and you're like, and he added new buildings also, and you're like, wow, imagine this freedom for all Call of Duty players, because there's Call of Duty uh, players that are also, like graphic designers and everything. They could design cool levels, like a Halo Forge type, and they can actually design the levels, upload them. You can download the levels and then play with them with you and your buddies. You can add the game mode if you want it. Team deathmatch, domination, demolition, search and destroy. You have a plethora of kill streaks, so you can actually choose from all the plethora of kill streaks which kill streaks you want. You know, in order for you to actually create this. So an armor type game for Call of Duty would actually benefit more, and it would be, in my opinion, the most healthy game that you can release and give it support. For example, you can have the servers for it, a lot of bunch of servers for it, and then you release the game with Modern Warfare 2019's, and yeah, Modern Warfare 2019's and Cold War in a armor type game with all the operators and all the skins, and you unlock those skins um, through the game. Event like challenges, and if you want special skins for them, event challenges that the developers can create within. Get a certain amount of kills within this event in order for you to get the skin, or accomplish finish this matches, or win this time this number of matches for it. Stuff like that, you know. And the rest is, you can let them create their own maps, their own game modes, and you would have enough. Why did I say realistic with Modern Warfare 2019 and Cold War? Because they had Verdansk. And you can actually take the landscape of Verdansk or some of the maps and just change the buildings, you know? Uh, Change the scenario, you can wipe all the buildings of Verdansk, keep on the landscape, put in little houses of, like you had on the, shit, I don't know, little mud houses you can put it on. Create a small village or a small city. I don't know, what have you. And I bet you everyone is going to love it. Put the tanks in it, um, the APCs, the IAVs, uh, choppers. So kind of like an all-out war type scenario, or they can create their own stories. We have seen with Arma 3 that even though they have graphics and everything, you can let the players have their own stories, their own servers, in order for them to actually have their own groups and kind of like mill sim this, or you know servers to clown around, just like, oh, unrealistic skins type lobby, and everyone is like, I don't know how to put it, like, very fast and melee only, uh, or infection type, or survive this, is like surviving zombies, like a big infection, but you have an extraction point and you have to read it. Something like that they can create. And I bet you it's going to work. It's going to work 100%, and the community is going to be glad. And maybe, because PC has more power and everything, but in the Xbox service and in the PC, those consoles are getting kind of like a gaming PC. So yes, they might have some limitations, but at least you can, go in, download it for your game, and then that's it. And to those content creators, if they want to pay, hey, I want some retribution because I created this map. I want, you can save like money. You can link it to their, to their bank account or their Call of Duty account, and each purchase goes to their COD points. Uh, well, actually, no, it doesn't benefit them. Actually, it goes to their credit card. You know, to their PayPal account, and that would benefit those creators of maps and game modes. I know that there's some that want it free, but others will want to monetize it, and it will benefit the community because it's the community giving the community back, because the developers gave them the tools for it. So I hope Microsoft is listening to this, because this will actually benefit Call of Duty greatly. You already have a ton of maps. Let the community have them. Uh, create their own maps, their own game modes with it, uh, change buildings, put in weapons and everything, free some restrictions actually, because if you free the restrictions from the gunsmith, you know, instead of 5 attachments from Modern Warfare 2019 and a sense of wave for Cold War, you can actually just let them have all of the attachments in the guns. You know, there's already the penalty of mobility and everything. So that's something to consider, you know. I'm just throwing in an idea that I think it's going to benefit more Call of Duty, you know, going to the future. The best cycle we know what's 1 year out, 1 year in. It gives more time to the developers itself. Although I would take out sledgehammers from the cycle. Sledgehammers has proven not to be useful for the cycle. It always brings down the community. So yeah, I don't want a Vanguard 2. I don't want another World War II game. Mm, not even from them. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on it. It's it's hell of important that we actually have that intervene of cycles, you know, because Infinity Ward has delivered with that one. The stories are great and everything. Infinity Infinite Warfare, you know, the multiplayer was too tied with Black Ops 3. But that was because Advanced Warfare from Sledgehammers came in and implemented the wrong stuff. They went too much into the future, but it was so badly implemented. They bring in the loot boxes and created a very toxic community about it. Um, with their World War II game, they're trying to fix some of the issues, but no, the issues were still there, even though there was no advanced movement. And with this game, they just they just crashed it. So they just crashed Warzone, they crashed Black Ops Cold War, they crashed Modern Warfare, and they crashed their own game. So that tells me that Sledgehammers is a very shitty developer. It's a very shitty also tell a storyteller. So they gotta be out of Call of Duty cycle and have that intervene. You know, Treyarch, Treyarch 1 year, next year no Call of Duty, next year Infinity Ward, next year no Call of Duty, next year Treyarch. That's it. That's it. And if you don't want if that like 1 year, yes, 1 year, no, then what I propose, you know, an Arma type Call of Duty, and you would have a very big community that would be thankful because they can now have their own servers, their own lobbies, and there's going to be a hell of a lot of more population because then they can put in a lot of your Captain Prices, you know, from the Call of Duty 4 remastered to the one of Modern Warfare 2 remastered, Modern Warfare 3, uh, current Captain Price, you know, uh, all the iterations of the other characters. So it would be awesome, you know, the mill sims that you have for each of the all those past Call of Duties. I mean, what else? What else? You're gonna make your community so happy. They're gonna be so healthy. They're gonna have their own small communities within Call of Duty. And the only thing that you have to release is like, hey, here's the pack for I don't know, Black Ops 2, you know, and it's kill streaks, and we have tested it and it works. You know, you can download it for 5, 10, maximum $10, and everybody's gonna be applauding you because you're actually testing it within the Arma type system and releasing it as like a DLC every 2, 3 months, you know, or more so like 3, 4 months, in order for you to actually test it well to see if it functions well, you know, and you just Release it, release it, release it. And even if you finish releasing all of the past Call of Duties, what's going to happen? Well, even though they're going to ask the question, oh, well, what's the next type of content? I think they're not going to get bored because they're going to put in like Black Ops weapons versus Black Ops 2 weapons and everything. And it's going to get, uh, let me put it this way. You have enough content for 3 to 4 years on that type of game. After those 3 4 years, you just gotta, create another game, either from the future or modern, you know. So you got 3 4 years, and that's it. So of content on that type of game, if you release it after Modern Warfare 2022, so that's something to think about. Microsoft Activision now. That's very something to think about. Um, well, like I said, schedule is off and everything. Um, I think if not next week, in 2 weeks, everything goes normal. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, it's gonna be streaming about a certain topic. If not, I'm just gonna reduce it because Vanguard fucked up Call of Duty, and I'm just waiting for it to actually be fixed okay because every 2 3 matches my game resets. I don't know why. So I just hope they fix the issues. Other than that, I think we just gotta wait and see. What once the deal is on, June 2023, we're gonna see what changes are gonna come from Phil Spencer to the Call of Duty franchise. Everything that we speak from this point onwards is just speculation, but we can actually pitch out ideas to Phil in order for us to actually voice our concerns, what we want, and everything. And Phil can take them into account and actually, start thinking about the future. So take that into consideration. So your opinion matters. It might not matter as much as you think, but if Phil keeps hearing it over and over, the same thing throughout many opinions, many people, then it's going to work. It's going to take into consideration, like, oh, the fan base of Call of Duty wants an armor type game. Oh, all right, now let me see what I can do. Or 1 year Call of Duty, another one no, and like that. Taking breaks between years. They're going to take it into consideration, your opinion. You just got to voice it out, send it. And even though you might say, oh, well, you're going to ignore it, the more they receive it, the more they can ignore it, the more they're going to pay attention towards it. And they're going to ask themselves why they want that. And they're going to ask us. So keep that in mind. Other than that, well, we just gotta hope the future of Call of Duty is gonna be bright, not wrong. And I'll see you guys Monday, 2 p.m. Central. Now this time, yes, I promise, I'll go in and be punctual that time. It just stuff happened. Anyways, take care of yourselves, your loved ones. Stay healthy, and let's hope the Call of Duty community can get either one of those two, either an armor type game that has all the past Call of Duty content for us to create our own shenanigans, or 1 year yes, 1 year out, and Sledgehammer is no longer a developer. because they fucked up Call of Duty in big time. Every time they were the main developers of that year. Anyways,